Hello everyone, and welcome to the Gentlemen's Drivers Club. Today we're going to be talking about Bentley's last great grand touring, the Grand Convertible. The motor car that started life as a replacement for the Azure, but ended up with a production run of only 19 units. For me personally, my favorite cars are big British GTs. Think of the Bentley Azure, Brooklands, the Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe, and of course the Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead Coupe. In 2012, when Bentley released new drawings of a new GT, supposedly based on the Mulsanne, I personally could not have been more excited. Because Bentley left the GT game in 2011 when it ceased production of the Brooklands, leaving Rolls-Royce alone to produce the Phantom Coupe and the Phantom Drophead Coupe. But unfortunately, the concept was never shown outside of a small party at Pebble Beach and eventually was cancelled. Fast forward to 2014, and Bentley under a new CEO brings the idea to the table once again and decides to create a concept for the Paris Motor Show. The motor car that was presented was called the Grand Convertible, and while based on the Mulsanne, it was no longer a replacement for the Azure. The Grand Convertible was based on the Mulsanne Speed and featured the historic 6 3/4 turbo V8 engine that produced 530 horsepower at the time. It was finished in a new blue called Sequin Blue and highlighted Bentley's new technology, which allowed clients to create paint-to-sample options based off of their own possessions. It was actually called Sequin Blue because it used one of the sequins from a client's haute couture dress in order to create the paint color. The bonnet and the windscreen were finished in what Bentley calls liquid metal, which is one of the best options that were available for big GTs at the time. It also comes as no surprise that Bentley went with this option, as when I was working at Bentley Rolls-Royce Long Island, I noticed that the majority of clients would always prefer that their drophead coupes always had the silver bonnet. The most impressive design feature is the tonneau cover, which is finished in Bentley's largest piece of wood veneer ever. The cover is finished in a beautiful book-matched burr walnut and features chrome steel accents. Sadly, it was never the replacement for the Azure that we wished, and only 19 units were ever produced. And in fact, none of them even made it to America. To even be able to see one is on my car spot bucket list. And I truly hope that Bentley one day brings back these big GTs, as this account is essentially a fan account for them. The next historic highlight from Bentley will be the Mulsanne Limousine. It was actually built by the same Mulliner team as the Grand Convertible, so make sure to follow along for that video and others.